and the massive protests that followed the fatal IC shooting in Minneapolis should not be understood as a spontaneous outburst of anger, but rather as the cumulative result of long standing tensions within American governance. While the shooting itself acted as the immediate trigger, the public response reflected deeper concerns about how immigration enforcement is conducted, how federal authority is exercised, and how accountability functions when lethal force is used by the state. These demonstrations emerged from a sense that existing institutions have struggled to reconcile enforcement power with public trust. Minneapolis occupies a distinctive place in this national conversation. The city's recent history has shaped public expectations and fears regarding law enforcement encounters. When news broke that a federal immigration operation had ended in the death of a civilian within a residential neighborhood, many residents did not view the event as an isolated tragedy. Instead, it was interpreted as another signal and that structural problems remain unresolved. The protests that followed were driven as much by fear and insecurity as by grief. As demonstrations spread across the country, a consistent pattern became visible in cities with very different political and social context. Protesters voiced remarkably similar concerns. Immigration enforcement was increasingly framed not as a technical legal matter but as a question of governance and legitimacy. Federal agencies operate with significant authority, yet often without strong local oversight. When communities experience the consequences of enforcement without meaningful avenues for accountability, public trust erodes, and protest becomes one of the few remaining tools available to citizens. From a policy perspective, the scale of these protests points to an institutional imbalance. Enforcement systems depend not only on legal authority, but on public consent. When that consent weakens, enforcement becomes more coercive and less sustainable. In recent years, immigration policy has prioritized deterrence and control while giving insufficient attention to transparency, proportionality, and civilian oversight. And where the Minneapolis shooting brought these tensions into sharp public focus.